everyone, welcome to my kitchen. I'm making ricotta cheese today. Ricotta cheese is a really great cheese to make if you're starting out in cheese making and you're interested in making cheese. It's also a really great cheese to make if you have a lot of extra milk that's on its way to expiring. So thank you for joining me today. I'm just going to go through the ingredients quickly with you. We've got 8 cups of whole milk. It's really important that you use whole milk, so 3%. If you use 2%, you're not going to get as much cheese in the end, and it won't have as good a flavor. I've also got a half a cup of half and half cream. Half and half, you can omit this if you're wanting to. It does add a lot of really good flavor though to your cheese, so that one you can pick and choose if you like. I have a third of a cup of lemon juice. You can use fresh lemons or just the lemon concentrate that you could buy in the bottle at the grocery store. This is the concentrate that I bought at the grocery store. So everything else you'll need is just a big pot, a thermometer, and a slotted spoon. So basically all we're going to do is put the milk in the pan. So you can just toss everything in. You can make a mess if you like because you're doing this from home. So that's the milk. And the cream's going in. And here goes the lemon juice. So all we're going to do is just put this on a medium-low heat. It's really important when you're making cheese and when you're heating up milk at all that you start really low because you don't want to scorch your pan. So now that we have everything in, we're just going to very gently, in a scooping motion, not touching the bottom of the pan, we're just going to stir the milk and the cream and the lemon juice for maybe about 10 seconds. And basically all we're going to do is just let this warm up on a medium-low heat to 175 degrees. It should take anywhere from a half an hour to 40 minutes. You really want to take the time, don't heat it up too much, and just be patient. Don't leave it on the stove because you don't want to burn your milk and you don't want to waste your milk either. So like I said, I'm going to let this go for about 30 to 40 minutes and then I'll come back and I'll show you the next step. Alright, so we're back. We've let the milk heat up to 175 degrees Fahrenheit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to turn this up to about a medium kind of high heat, not too hot. And we're going to let the milk continue to heat up to 205 degrees Fahrenheit. This is very quick. This is where you want to sit and look at the pot. It's going to threaten to boil, but we don't want the bubbles to break the surface. So this is maybe about 5 minutes of your time. Don't turn it up too much. And once this heats up to 205 degrees, we're just going to turn off the heat of the stove. We're going to push the pot back to the back of the stove and we're going to let it sit just for 10 minutes. And then I'll come back and I'll let you know what we do next. Okay, so here we are, we're at 205. My bubbles did break the surface, so I'm turning off the heat. This is what your milk should look like. You'll see the separated curds and whey. So what I'm going to do is, this is just going to stay off the heat for about 10 minutes, and I'm going to bring you over here and let you know what you can do in this next 10 minutes to prepare. So what I usually do is I have just like a mixing bowl, a larger vessel to catch your curds and whey because we're going to separate them. So what I have is a bowl, I have a fine mesh sieve, and then on top of that I have some cheesecloth. You can get cheesecloth at the grocery store. So I just put a layer of cheesecloth in the sieve. If you don't have a sieve, which is totally fine, you could use a strainer with your cheesecloth in it and just switch it out. We want to catch the whey. So this could go in there. And you could put your cheesecloth in there. If you don't have cheesecloth, you could use a dish towel, like something you use to dry the dishes. It just may take a little bit longer for the cheese to separate. It's completely up to you. Use what you have. So I'm going to let this cool down, and then I'll show you in about 10 minutes how we separate the curds and whey. All right, so we're back after letting our milk, well, our curds and whey now actually, cool for about 10 minutes. So this is still really, really hot, so you still want to be careful. And what we're going to do now is separate the curds from whey. So you can get your slotted spoon, and basically all you need to do is just start scooping out the cheese. And you'll see that the cheese has really come together and it's floating on the top. So just be really gentle during this part. Once you get down to the little bits of cheese that are left, you can take your pot and just sort of pour it over the cheese that's in your strainer, just so that you get all of this really delicious food. You don't want to waste any of this. It's so good. This looks like a really good batch. I've got a lot here. So this is looking great. I'm just gonna pour this through, and all of the whey will just go through. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the whey. So this looks like it can be a lot of waste. So we're probably going to end up with anywhere between 5 to 6 cups of whey here. There's so much that you can do with whey, so please, if you can, keep it. You can use it in smoothies. You can give it to your pets, your livestock. You can use it as a replacement for water or milk in your bread recipes. It's just so packed full of nutrients and protein that it's not worth wasting. So, and you're going to have a lot no matter what. You're going to have a lot. So do your best to try to save the whey. It'll be good in the fridge for about 2 weeks if you put it in a sealed container, and you can also freeze this too. I've used it in cupcake recipes. I've used it in bread recipes. It's really, it gives a different taste to your recipes, but it's really worth giving it a try. So I'm just going to let this strain until most of the whey comes out of it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to gather up my cheesecloth and tie it in a little knot, and I'm going to let it hang from my cupboards here until the cheese has really come together and I've got just a delicious ball of ricotta. And then at that point, whatever you want to do with your ricotta is completely up to you. You can eat it with a spoon, like I do sometimes. You can use it in lasagna or any of your other recipes. So I'll let this strain, and then I will show you guys the finished product when it's done. Okay, so I've let most of the whey strain from this. We've got 7.5 cups of whey. So what I like to do now is just tie up my cheesecloth, and I'll just use a wooden spoon and hang this over on my cupboard until the rest of it drips. When it's done dripping, your cheese is basically done. You don't need to do this. I think it looks nice. You can do this you can keep this in your sieve, straining into a bowl. That's fine. Just one more thing I wanted to say about all of this whey is that if you are interested in lacto-fermentation, or you are lacto-fermenting, then you know that whey is a really good thing to have for lacto-fermenting pickles or sauerkraut or any vegetable really. So that's a really important one for me because I do use a lot of whey for lacto-fermenting since I've really been interested in it. So this is where we are. You will get about 3/4 of a pound to a pound of ricotta once you're done here, which is really great for pan lasagna. So if you're making lasagna and you like to put ricotta in your lasagna, this is perfect for that, but you can use it however you like, eat it however you like. And once we're finished here, I'll just show you the finished product and we'll give it a taste. Okay, so we're pretty much strained. So I'm just gonna take the cheese down and I'm just gonna flop it into a bowl. So here is our finished product. You can scrape it off the cheesecloth. I'll save you that for now. That's your ricotta. It is 10 times better than store-bought ricotta. So if you can make it, give it a try. So what I do at this point, and if you want to, I've got some sea salt. You can just sprinkle your cheese with some sea salt, if that's what you like, and you're good to go. This is probably good in the fridge for 3 to 4 days. I promise you it won't last in the fridge that long because you're going to eat it. So I'm going to try some. They're so good. You'll notice a bit of a lemony taste with it too because we use the lemon juice in the recipe. But this was a really good yield actually of cheese. This is one of my better batches. So I'm so glad that I got to share it with you. Please let me know if you followed along in the video and tried to make this. I'd love to see what you guys did. I would love to answer any questions you may have. And if you want to see me make anything else in my kitchen, I'd love to invite you in. Please let me know what you'd like to make and maybe we can make it together. Thanks, guys.